Welcome into Pickswise Playbook presented by Superbook Sports. I'm Mark Zinno. He's Jared Smith as we get set for Thursday Night Football, Week 16 in the NFL. Jacksonville Jaguars on the road at the New York Jets, who are laying a point here with a total of 37.5. Jared, Jags 3-1 in their last four against the NFC, and the Jets 0-4 against the number in four Thursday night games. Break this one down for us.
Yeah, Zach Wilson gets another start here, and I mean, he was just so erratic in that game against the Lions last week. He showed some brief, and I will say very brief, flashes of brilliance, but down, the numbers were not good. The Jets were a bottom 10 EPA per play team, sub 40% success rate. They really struggled to run the ball, which is probably why they lost the game. 36% success rate on the ground. Zonovan Knight was held in check, much to my chagrin, betting his props, and he even left the game injured at some point. And it was pretty simple, right? The Lions stacked the box. I said, go ahead, Zach, beat us deep. He beat them deep in a couple of different occasions. But again, the inconsistency down to down, he threw two turnover-worthy plays, one really bad interception, and an accuracy rate, adjusted accuracy rate of about 54%, which in the NFL, like, that's just not going to get it done. On the other side, the Jags pulled off one of the biggest rabbits, pulled one of the biggest rabbits out of their hat in the entire NFL season, if you take away what the Vikings have done. But this is a very, very good Jaguars offense. So it's a classic matchup. Jaguars offense, Trevor Lawrence playing really well, threw 4 touchdowns against the Cowboys, threw his first interception in 6 games. But again, 1 interception in the last 6 games. You're starting to see the body language, the attention to detail, all of those things trend in a very positive direction for Trevor Lawrence. Since week 10, he's grading out as a top 5 quarterback in the nerd numbers that I like to look at. And he's got a ton of help around him. Zay Jones is playing really well. He's been grading out as one of the best offensive players on the Jaguars the last few weeks. And how about your former boy, Evan Ingram's been tearing it up as well. And this is a Jets defense that played very well against the Lions, but they gave up one really big play that cost them the game. How do they respond from that on a short week with their backs against the wall? I like Robert Saleh. I think he's done a fantastic job with this Jets defense, but this is going to be a really big challenge now. Second consecutive week, they're facing a really good offense, and I don't know if we're going to get a lot on the other side because I think the Jaguars defense is a step up in class from what we saw from the Lions last week. They like to blitz. They're a little bit better in the pass rush game. So I kind of lean Jags here, but I'll be honest, my heart is pulling me in a different direction because this is pretty much the Jets season this week.
Well, you don't have to have much of a lean here to know that this is an incredibly public bet for the Jaguars. And for me, it feels like there's an overvalue on the Jaguars here. Look, as long as Quinnen Williams plays for the Jets, their defense is going to get some home cooking on Thursday Night Football, and they are much better prepared against this Jaguars offense than they would be against the Lions offense that they held in check pretty much last week. Now, the Jaguars have been a terrible road team this year. The biggest and best signature wins this year have come at home against the Cowboys, against the Ravens, comeback win over the Raiders. They are a bad road team and have always been a bad road team. They're 2-5 against the number on the road this year. Jared, get this. They give up 295 passing yards per game on the road this year. That's second worst in the NFL away from home. Doesn't matter who the Jets have under center. You're going to be able to move the ball on this Jaguars defense through the air. If the weather and the elements favor the ground game, sure, I think Jacksonville has a little bit of an advantage here. But if the Jets hold Jacksonville to 20 or less, I think they get home here. I think there's an overvalue in the Jaguars here. I love the Jets in this defense at home tonight.
Yeah, I can't argue with those points. I mean, I hope you're right. I just, when I watch Zach Wilson play, I see a lot of like to me, the biggest issue I have with betting the Jets here is Zach Wilson making the big mistake. Whereas I don't have that same fear with Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence has done a really good job not making the big mistake. And that's why the Jaguars have a chance to make the playoffs. This is also a really big game for, like, honestly, this is basically a playoff game for both teams. The Jags are still alive in the AFC South, and the Jets, clearly, they're not going to win the division, but they absolutely are alive to make a wild card spot. So I think this is it's a disadvantage to Jacksonville, short week on the road. I agree. I think the home road splits are intriguing for the Jags. But man, like every time I get close to pulling the trigger on the Jets, I think of Zach Wilson's interception last week, and I'm just like, man, like that, like those throws can't be made in big time games. And I'm worried that he is going to make the big mistake that will cost his team the game. I hope I'm wrong, but that's the volatility with Zach Wilson. He's going to give you those flashy throws deep down the field that make you say, wow, but he'll make 15 to 20 other throws throughout the course of the game that'll make you hold your breath. So maybe the one throw this time is the one big one that gets in the end zone. The Jets win the game. But I'm a little bit concerned with the erratic play, I guess, of my pal Zach.
Well, let's hope for the best here on Thursday night. Should be a good one here. Both of these teams with their playoff lives on the line on Thursday night. For Jared Smith, I'm Mark Zinno. Thanks for watching and tuning in to Pickswise Playbook presented by Superbook Sports. We'll see you guys next week.